All right, so for once, I'm going to do a Smackdown review. What's going on, everybody? Off the top, let me tell you guys, I enjoyed the heck out of Smackdown tonight. I thought it was an excellent show, top to bottom. And it kind of gets me thinking about Monday Night Raw, which I've been watching pretty consistently over the past couple of months. And it leaves me to thinking about the whole notion of, well, Raw is a 3 hour show, so it's kind of hard to book a show like that and make it entertaining throughout. Granted, I can give you that. It's 3 hours. There's a lot of commercial breaks in there, a lot of starts and stops. However, I think that's as far as the excuse can go. And tonight's SmackDown showed us that. The only thing that people really want from Raw, and I think I'm speaking for everyone when I say this, just give us compelling storylines. And it doesn't even have to be for everyone, but you got a 3 hour show. Can we get like 90 minutes of compelling TV? Like just 90 minutes? Let's say that there's 6 different feuds that are going on in there. Can 3 of them be compelling? Can we get 3? I mean, usually it's like 1, maybe 2 at the most. Maybe 2. And then that's it. With SmackDown tonight, the way they structured this show was absolutely perfect. You started off, well, this is funny. You started off, I was about to say, with a mid-card feud, so you don't really need much story with that. And then I realized that it's number one contenders for Cody's belt. I did not do that on purpose. It's not Cody hate. It's not Cody slander. I swear. Yo, look, when you position people on a card a certain way for as long as you position them and you don't build them up the right way over time to make them feel like they're more than what they are, you're automatically going to think, mid card. And they started the show with the number one contenders match. Now that I think about it, your number one contenders match opens the show for the world title, opens the show, and then you close the show with, we'll get there. All right. It's not a bad thing. I'm just talking about positioning. But either way, these two guys, AJ Styles and LA Knight, they have had a feud going on for a while now. And that's good. You got them in the number one contenders match, which means even though the winner of this match is going to get the title shot, the feud doesn't end there, win or lose to the number one contender. So if AJ, who won the match, and look, it's LA Knight, you know I'm not going to watch it. And I don't do it purposely. I swear. Yo, I'm not lying to you. I was asleep. I fell asleep before Raw started, before SmackDown started, and when I woke up, I saw Solo Sikoa. Yo, I don't do it on purpose. I swear. I'm going to try my best to watch an LA Knight match. I'm going to try, but it just doesn't happen. I don't know why it doesn't happen. It's not my fault. It really isn't. It just, praise God. I don't think God wants me to watch LA Knight. I think that that's what it is. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm going to try next time. But you get that match, and you have the winner of that match go against, well, AJ Styles won, and he's going to be taking on Cody. I think that win or lose, you still have the feud with LA Knight and AJ Styles. And I guess you could say, like, there's story there. There's story there. Now, granted, it's not going to get the continued build that they got from the WrestleMania build, but they can dive more into it if they wanted to. So the opportunity is there for them. After the match, coming from the back, well, coming into the arena, we had Solo and Paul Heyman. Oh, man. Paul Heyman looks scared out of his wits. And for the life of me, I can't help but think that Paul Heyman isn't going to turn on Roman. Like, it's in me to think that. And here's my reason. I'm going to solidify the reasoning this way. Paul Heyman goes wherever the belt goes. Do I make sense? Think about it. anytime he's managing somebody, they're usually the champion. And he covets that title. The moment they lose that title, he's out of there, right? And he's on to the next champion. Let's think about CM Punk. When CM Punk lost that title, guess who was out of there? Paul Heyman. Brock Lesnar loses the title, he's out of there. When Brock Lesnar lost the title to Big Show, Paul Heyman was out of there and he was with the Big Show. Big Show lost the title, guess where Paul Heyman was? He's out of there. Paul Heyman, the guy who carries the title, covets the title. And yeah, that's just the way I see it. You know what? Let me not say it's going to happen. Let me just more so say I wouldn't be surprised if it happens and this whole thing is a ruse. I mean, think about it. Why was he kissing up to The Rock so much for their WrestleMania match? So Solo tells him that Tama Tonga is going to be a new member in the Bloodline, and he's his MFT. I don't know what an MF. I'm not even going to try to figure out what that is. Maybe y'all could tell me in the comment section if y'all know. Me personally, I don't know. And he asked Heyman if he knows where Kevin Owens is, because last week Kevin Owens kind of big timed him, and he wanted to get his revenge for that. I can't blame the guy. After the break, we got Nick Aldis in the ring. Out comes Triple H, who for some reason just needs to be on every show at this point. I mean, now I'm starting to miss the days where Vince McMahon just never came out. But shoot, I mean, Triple H is Tony Khan. Like, why do they need to be on TV so much? I don't get it. Like, he's not even doing the point no more. So it's not as though he's presenting them with the titles just so that he could do the photo op. It's not even that. You could let the GM do that. Triple H doesn't need to do it. I mean, does he need to be synonymous with everything? I'm sorry. It's a small complaint by me. It's neither here nor there, but seeing him on TV every week, I don't know. But he's there to introduce the titles to, what's these guys' names? The A-Town, Down, Under, all right, whatever. Those tag team titles are beautiful. And those are the titles that I thought we were going to see on Raw. We got them on SmackDown. I'm glad that they're different, a different shape, a different vibe. They kind of look like the undisputed title that they slapped on Brock Lesnar back during the Ruthless Aggression era. And I never liked that title as the world title. Always liked it as, like, if it was an IC title or a tag team title. And now it kind of has that vibe as a tag team title. And I think it looks perfect. I'm so happy that it wasn't the same title that we had on Raw. Then we had a little disrespect from Town, Down, whatever. Those dudes. We had a little disrespect from them towards Triple H and, whatever. But we have a number one contenders match again. A fatal 4-way for the tag team championship number one contender spot. All right. Well, here we are again. And you know what? One of these days, I'm going to come in here with my top 10 things that Triple H is failing at. And that's going to be on the list. This whole number one contenders thing and the way that they do it, it's the same formula every single time. We're going to talk about that in a different video. But what I will say, this fatal 4-way match was awesome, top to bottom. And I must say, can I say that the right guys won? I'm not so sure. But in this situation, who do you have win, right? You don't want Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate to win, because if they have to lose in the opening match or the first match against the tag team champions, you kind of hurt them a little bit when they're still getting their legs up under them. You don't want to do it with AOP because AOP would kill these dudes. You don't want to do it with Legado del Fantasma because that's heel group against heel group. And maybe if they were both higher up on the card, then you can do it, but you don't really want to go down that path. And you have the Street Profits, who would be the most believable. And you also have the story of the Street Profits couldn't make it into the Mania match because they had a score to settle with those other guys, with AOP and Karrion Kross on Mania. So that took them away from getting this opportunity. So now they do get their opportunity Because if you have Street Profits in that match at Mania, Street Profits have to win the title. So now they do get their opportunity. Does Street Profits get their titles? Or, so it kind of leaves me in a bit of a I don't know. We'll see how it unfolds, and we'll probably have a better view of how things are going to go the closer we get to France. But as of right now, it's up in the air. It's a really good toss-up. What I will say is I was mostly impressed by Legado del Fantasma in this match. They just stood out to me greatly. Their tag team moves, their aggression, how they carried themselves, their demeanor. They're really coming off as a pretty good heel team. And it's probably not going to go noticed because of their size, but if they just continue on this path, they remind me of the tag team. It was Rick Martel. Oh God, here I am showing my age again. I'm not going to do that. Really good heel tag team. They're not big. They're not oversized. Berto's, is a decent sized athlete. And then you have Angel Garza, who's, he's shorter, but he's a good sized athlete, but he's just shorter. And they can work their asses off. And they really, really impressed me in this match. This match was just, it didn't give you a chance to breathe, man. This match just grabbed you by the throat throughout the entire way. And finally, once it was over, it's like, that is how tag team wrestling was when it was peaking. During that ruthless aggression era, during that attitude era, mainly during, I want to say just in the middle, in that cusp of the two, is where it really started kicking off and going crazy like this. So I think that was a really good tag team match, and I am definitely looking forward to seeing more, because they have their they're starting to put a little depth into that tag team division. I ain't mad at it. Not mad at it. We go backstage again with Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman. And Heyman is he was a little nervous because he couldn't find Kevin Owens. And Solo just walks out. They drop his beat. I said the same thing last week, man. I'm really thinking that beat has been wasted on, like, his entrance music has been wasted on him all this time. That entrance music of Solo's is great intro music. And it's really got me wondering, what are they going to do with Tama Tonga's music? Because anytime I see him on the screen, the only thing in my mind is, ain't nobody realer than Gorilla. That's all I hear. Like, nothing's playing, but the entire time I see him, that's what's in my head. It's a really weird thing. I don't know how that happens. But anyway, Paul Heyman says that he's making tribal chief decisions without being a tribal chief. It's not his time. It's not his day. His day is going to be coming, but it's not your decision to make right now. Solo tells him to shut up. And Tama Tonga, Kevin Owens came flying from the back, and he's a bloody mess. And out comes Tama Tonga. And let me say this. In 2 TV appearances, Tama Tonga has been a much, much better Solo Sikoa than Solo Sikoa. Everything that Tama Tonga is doing is exactly what we expected of Solo Sikoa. And we're getting it from Tama Tonga. And I like how they're just keeping him very stoic. And commentary is really pushing the Haku thing, which, to anybody that's been a long-time viewer of wrestling in general, they all know what that means as far as Haku, one of the toughest men in wrestling history, just from a standard of, this is just how he's been. Inside the ring, outside the ring, mostly outside the ring. You don't fuck with Haku. Same way you don't mess with Harley Race. But I want to play something for you guys, and hopefully you can hear it. This right here is what I meant with the reason why I felt as though the Cody Rhodes win felt flat. And this isn't about Cody, but I want y'all to hear this again. Now, Check it out. So right now, and y'all just gonna hear audio, but right now, Kevin Owens is a bloody mess, right? Just listen to the commentary. Just listen, please. Just understand me, and I'm gonna explain right after. Listen to this. Pittsburgh PD to protect him from Toma Tonga. This man is absolutely ruthless, the son of Haku. Like, do we still want to say, I don't want them to oversell it. They're letting the moment breathe. Who was renowned as the toughest man to ever step foot in this industry. There is no such thing as too far for Toma Tonga. No lengths to which he will not go to accomplish the goal. Listen to this. Mercilessly effective. Listen to this. Bro, Kevin Owens is bleeding. We don't get blood often. We got blood with Cody and Rock, and before that, we didn't get blood in the sense of a storyline in who knows how long. Now we finally got it. Now we finally got the blood, and this is commentary? I'm sorry for all of you people that say you got to let the moment breathe and you don't want to oversell it. Yo, kiss my whole ass, yo. This was trash. This commentary, and it's not their fault. It's how they're produced. It's what they're told to do. This is booking of the commentary. I thought it was absolutely garbage. And the reason for that is because coming out of this, nothing is memorable. Kevin Owens was bleeding. If you weren't looking on a big screen TV, it'd kind of be hard to see. If you're looking on a regular TV, you'd be like, is he bleeding? Is he bleeding? But if you can see it clearly, he's bleeding like crazy. But the thing that made, and we got to keep doing it, Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era, the thing that made those moments is JR. Oh my God, he's got him bleeding like he's a stuffed pig. You gotta sell it. Make us remember the moment. And I'm sorry, but when commentary sounds like that, what is that? What is that? This is a great moment. This is a great segment. And commentary did not make that memorable. WWE did not make that memorable. Production team did not make that memorable. I'm sorry. It just wasn't memorable. And that is my argument about the whole Cody, the celebration felt flat to me. Not him winning, but the celebration felt flat to me. It's the same argument. It's nothing memorable here. It's nothing memorable. I'm sorry. So down at the ringside, they end up jumping Kevin Owens a little bit more. And, then they take it back to the backstage. After the commercial break, Nick Aldis brings Paul Heyman outside and shows him the car crash. Jesus Christ. Apparently, they're saying Tama Tonga was the one who, I guess, rammed the car into Kevin Owens' car. And he's asking Paul Heyman, like, is he the one that's pulling the strings on this? And, Heyman just doesn't know what the heck is going on. He's completely lost control of the bloodline. But the thing is with Heyman, if we're just following storyline and if Heyman is still with Roman, if we're following the storyline, Paul Heyman hasn't lost control of the bloodline. This is just a different bloodline. To me, it's that simple. And no, Solo's not the leader of it. I wish people would really stop saying this. Like, it's everywhere. I mean, the way that Solo's leading the bloodline, he's not leading the bloodline. Knock it off. Carlito versus Santos Escobar. That one got skipped. Let me see who won that one. Escobar won that one with a Phantom Driver. Congrats to him. Not anything against Escobar, but man, if there's anyone that I would watch less than LA Knight, it is Carlito, and it's always been that way. I've never, ever wanted to pay attention to Carlito, ever. I'm sorry. A lot of people love him. I'm not that guy. Sorry, not that guy. We get some backstage footage. Well, yeah, we get some footage of Cody Rhodes putting over his match that they're going to have for London. Or is he in London? Something about London. But the match that they're going to be having in France, he wanted to put that over. with AJ Styles winning. So, yay to Georgia. And finally, in our main event, we don't have the number one contenders match. We have the women's championship match. And I don't sound thrilled about this because it's not because it's the women. It's because we know that it's not going to mean anything. Nothing's going to happen as far as a title change. It's really, Naomi's not a big deal. You know, Bailey's the champion, and that's cool. You know, that's gonna do what it does, but Naomi's not a big deal. You know, so right here it kind of felt like they were putting women in the main event just to say we put the women in the main event. It was a title match. So we put the title match in that spot over the number one contenders match. I mean, one is more important than the, I don't know. Pretty decent match. Wade Barrett said the thing that made the most sense is, all right, enough with these friendly holds, punch somebody in the face. Like, enough with this friendliness that's going on back and forth. Who's going to throw the first blow? And I was with him on that because when you do the whole babyface versus babyface, friend versus friend, and there's no build up behind it, then it's boring. It's boring because it doesn't feel like, you know, two women are in there trying to crack ass to either defend the title or to win the title. We just don't feel that. Give me Sasha versus Bailey from NXT Takeover Brooklyn, and now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with fish grease. But this just didn't feel like anything. And if you're gonna give me a match, even a title match that doesn't feel like anything, get them away from the main event. Put LA Knight and AJ Styles there. It means more. And if you do put LA Knight and AJ Styles there, not only might I watch it, but it means more. It helps LA Knight out when, even if he's going to lose, it still helps him out because you're putting him in the main event spot. The women are gonna get their opportunities. There's no doubt about it. But give them the opportunities when it means something. When it means something. Or build it up so that it does mean something. How about that? Just build it up to mean something so that we can be invested in it. In the end, we got an interference from Tiffany Stratton. Always love to see Tiffany Stratton because I know that she's a boss. And she interferes. She takes out Naomi because I guess she's on her Braun Strowman. She's not finished with her yet. And that right there, I believe, takes us off the air. Does it? Let me see. It didn't. Let me read this. Rose Plink counter, kick up. Oh, Bailey wins by disqualification. Tiffany Stratton smashing Naomi's face onto the announce desk, throwing Bailey into the steel steps, putting them both in the ring, hitting the prettiest moonsault ever on both of them. Stratton stands tall while we cut back to the skyboxes with damage control, elated, and Bianca and Jade unhappy. And that's the show, folks. Well, that was the show. Yeah, there was a bit of a cameo with damage control and Bianca and Jade. I guess that's a thing. And you know what? Let me not put that down. Or let me not make that sound like it didn't matter. Putting them in the skybox and continuously showing them, it's small stuff like that. Small details like that matters. It puts spotlight on them. Even though they're not going to have a promo segment, they're not going to be in the ring, you show them somewhere and you continuously show them to let people know, hey, they still here, they still exist, they're still a big deal. All of this stuff that we got tonight on SmackDown, between backstage segments, storylines, the whole Carlito versus Santos Escobar, you know, that stems back to Escobar saying, look, we had nothing to do with Dragon Lee getting attacked. You know, yeah, I need to find out who did it. And that right there gives them a reason to put Carlito on TV in a match because the culprit is Carlito. No one's pointing fingers at him, but he's a culprit. And in order for that to make sense, you have to show him on TV, put him in a match. Why not? See, there's stories within stories and stories and stories going on. And if there's a feud that's going on or something being built that's going on and it doesn't have a story, they still get regular TV time, a la the tag team division. We don't have a story here, but we're going to give these guys TV time. And I'm not mad at that. Now, granted, I don't know what they're doing with the U.S. title. Maybe they circle back to that next week. But if they do, guess how they're going to find out who's going to be the #1 contender. I'm out of here. That's all I got for this one. Please, if you're new, subscribe to the channel. There's going to be a whole lot more coming. Everybody else, drop a like on the video. I will say the last video I did was horrible as far as engagement, likes, and viewership. And that could be on me because I uploaded that in the middle of the night, just like I'm doing this one. But I'll put that in the end video for anybody that's interested in watching. I got a couple more. I'm gonna do that top 5 or maybe a top 10 reasons on why Triple H is failing. If you wanted to be a top 10, give me some reasons. Give me some of your reasons down in the comment section below. I'm also going to be doing a Perk Gable video coming up pretty soon, so be on the lookout for that. All right, I've tired it myself out. Thanks for watching.